Have you ever looked at your dog and wondered, why on earth do they do that? Circling before going to the bathroom, stealing your exact spot on the couch, sticking their nose where it was definitely not invited. Most of us just laugh it off and think, well, that's just dogs being dogs. But here's the truth. Almost nothing your dog does is random. Every gesture, every reaction, every strange little habit is saying something. And once you understand what these behaviors actually mean, you'll stop seeing your dog as weird. You'll start seeing them clearly, maybe for the first time. In today's video, we're going to look at 10 behaviors that most dog owners completely misread. And the last one might change the way you see one of the most embarrassing moments that can happen on a walk. Let's get into it. Why does your dog circle before going to the toilet? Your dog finds a patch of grass, sniffs intensely at the ground, walks in a circle, stops, circles again, and only then finally decides this is the right spot. To us, it looks unnecessarily dramatic. But to your dog, none of this is random. Going to the toilet is one of the most vulnerable moments for any animal. The body is occupied, attention is divided, and movement is limited. So before committing, instinct drives your dog to scan the surroundings, making sure no threat is lurking nearby. But safety is only part of the story. Dogs have scent glands in their paws. Every step, every turn on the ground, they are leaving behind information. To another dog passing by afterward, this is not just a patch of grass. This is a message board. Who was here, when, what their health was like, what mood they were in. And here is something even more fascinating. Some research suggests that dogs may be sensitive to the Earth's magnetic field when eliminating, and tend to prefer a certain body alignment under stable magnetic conditions. Your dog is not standing there doing advanced geography. But it does remind us that dogs are picking up on signals that humans almost never notice. So the next time your dog keeps circling and just won't get it done, they are not wasting your time. They are checking for safety, reading the ground, and leaving their own quiet signature on the world. Why does your dog pant even when it's not hot? You look at your dog, mouth open, breathing fast, tongue hanging out, and your first thought is, they must be overheating. But wait, it's not hot. They've just been lying still for a while. So what's actually going on? It's true that dogs can't sweat across their whole body the way humans do. Most of their body heat is regulated through breathing. Moisture evaporating from the mouth and upper respiratory tract helps cool them down. After running around or on a warm day, panting is completely normal. But panting isn't always about temperature. Sometimes it's excitement. Sometimes it's arousal. And sometimes it's a sign that your dog is trying to hold themselves together from the inside. Think about these moments. The waiting room at the vet. Inside the car. On a night with fireworks. When you're having a tense conversation somewhere in the house. Your dog isn't hot, but they're panting, mouth open, tongue out. Yet the rest of their body is telling a completely different story. So how do you tell the difference? Read the whole dog, not just the mouth. Are the eyes wider than usual? Is the white of the eye showing? Is the body stiff? Are they repeatedly licking their lips, yawning, or looking away? Are they restless, unable to settle in one spot? If yes, that's not temperature. That's a nervous system working too hard. A stressed dog may not bark, may not growl. They may simply pant, look away, and quietly hope the situation ends soon. Panting is one of the earliest and most overlooked signs that a dog is struggling on the inside. So don't just read the mouth. Read the whole dog. Because sometimes they're cooling down, and sometimes they're trying to hold it all together. Why does your dog sleep with their eyes partly open? You glance over at your dog lying completely still, body totally relaxed, clearly fast asleep, but their eyes are just slightly open. It looks strange, maybe even a little unsettling. But in most cases, what you are actually seeing is not an open eye at all. It is the third eyelid. Dogs have a protective membrane called the nictitating membrane, also known as the third eyelid. This membrane helps protect the eye, keep it moist, and clear away small debris. When a dog sleeps, especially when the eyelids do not close completely, this membrane can slide across and become visible, creating the impression that the eye is half open and watching you. And there is actually a fascinating evolutionary reason behind this. For many animals, appearing alert while resting was a survival advantage. A predator would hesitate if the animal looked awake. So that slightly open eye is not your dog watching over you while they sleep. It is the third eyelid quietly doing its job. So when should you actually worry? If your dog has always slept this way, their eyes look completely normal when awake, and there is no redness, discharge, swelling, or any sign of irritation. It is generally nothing to be concerned about. But if you notice, the third eyelid still visible when your dog is awake. Signs of redness, swelling, or unusual discharge. Your dog squinting or rubbing their eye repeatedly. Then that is the time to get it checked. Sleeping with the eyes slightly open is usually completely normal. What matters is not the behavior itself, it is the change. If the eye looks different from how it normally does, that is the signal worth paying attention to. Why does your dog roll over and show their belly? You sit down and your dog immediately rolls over right in front of you, belly exposed, legs in the air, tail wagging. And what is most people's first reaction? Oh, they want a belly rub. And the hand is already reaching out. But hold on, it is not always that simple. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a dog's body. No ribs covering it, no natural layer of protection. When a dog rolls over and exposes their belly, it is an extremely meaningful act. The question is, what does it actually mean? Case 1. Trust and relaxation. The body is soft and loose. The tail is wagging freely or wiggling wildly. The eyes are soft and relaxed. The whole body seems to be wiggling. That kind of wiggle that only happens when a dog is genuinely happy. This dog is telling you, I completely trust you. I feel safe beside you. And I want to be touched. In this case, go ahead and give that belly rub. They are inviting you in. Case 2. Submission and appeasement. The body is stiffer, almost frozen. The tail is tucked tightly or wagging in very small, fast movements. The ears are pressed flat against the head. The eyes are looking away or actively avoiding contact. The head is turned to one side. The whole body radiates one single message. Please don't hurt me. I am not a threat. This is not an invitation. This is a quiet plea to be left alone. You often see this in puppies, anxious dogs, or dogs feeling pressured by the situation around them. And when someone reaches in to pet them anyway, even with the best intentions, the dog does not feel loved. It feels cornered. So how do you tell the difference? It is actually a simple rule. Body soft and wiggling, likely trust. Body stiff and frozen, likely appeasement. Pause for just a moment before reaching in. Let the dog tell you which version this is. Because love is not only about touching your dog. Sometimes love is recognizing when they would rather not be touched and respecting that. Why does your dog follow you everywhere? You stand up, your dog stands up. You walk to the kitchen, your dog follows. You go to the bathroom. Your dog sits outside the door like a tiny security guard with absolutely no concept of personal space. Sound familiar? Most of us find this adorable, and sometimes it genuinely is. But sometimes it is a signal you should not ignore. Reason 1. Natural attachment. Dogs were shaped over thousands of years to live alongside humans, read humans, and respond to every movement humans make. For many dogs, you are the center of their entire world. Food comes from you. Walks come from you. Safety comes from you. So following you everywhere makes complete sense. Reason 2. Learned behavior. Sometimes dogs figure out that every time their person moves, something interesting is about to happen. You stand up and fill their bowl. You head to the door and grab the leash. You walk into the kitchen and accidentally drop something on the floor. Your dog is not following you out of pure emotion. They are following you out of strategy. Reason 3. You are their safe base. For many dogs, your presence helps them make sense of the room. Your movement signals that something is about to happen. When you are there, the world is predictable. When you disappear, the world becomes uncertain. So how do you know whether this is normal attachment or genuine anxiety? Watch how they follow. A dog with normal attachment will trail casually behind you, settle down and relax when you stop, and stay comfortably in a room when you leave without any particular reaction. A genuinely anxious dog is different. They cannot switch that state off. They panic when separated. They cry, scratch at doors, pace back and forth, and cannot calm down even for just a few minutes when you are out of sight. That is not loyalty. That may be separation anxiety, and it deserves proper attention. The goal is not to make your dog stop loving your presence. The goal is to help them feel safe even when you are briefly out of sight. Because a truly confident dog does not need to track your every step to feel okay. They know that, no matter where you go, you will always come back. Why does your dog react so strongly on the leash? You are out walking your dog. Everything is calm. Then another dog appears at the end of the street, and in an instant, your dog explodes, barking loudly, lunging forward, pulling the leash over and over. Every muscle in their body coiled like a spring about to snap. People around you stare. You feel embarrassed. And the first thought that crosses most people's minds is, "My dog is so aggressive." But the truth is far more complicated than that. Most dogs that react strongly on leash are not trying to attack. They are reacting because they are afraid. Think about it this way. Off-leash, a dog has plenty of options. They can curve around, they can slow down, they can sniff the ground to release tension. They can create distance in the most natural way possible. But on leash, all of those options disappear. The dog is tied to you. Their freedom to move is gone, and the other dog is still getting closer. The nervous system sends one clear signal: can't escape, so must drive it away. So the dog barks. The dog lunges. The dog growls. Not to attack, but to say one single thing: stay away from me. And what makes it worse, when the other dog finally passes and the distance grows, your dog learns a very dangerous lesson. I barked, and the threat went away. That strategy worked. Next time, I will do it even sooner. Every single time it happens, that behavior gets reinforced once more, and it becomes harder and harder to change. So what can you actually do to help? First, distance is your best friend. Do not try to force your dog to approach another dog before they are ready. The safe distance may be much farther than you expect, but that is exactly where learning begins. Second, change the emotion, not just the behavior. The goal is to help your dog learn that seeing another dog does not mean danger. Seeing another dog means something good is about to happen. Treats, calmness, and a safe distance will gradually shift the way they feel. Third, do not punish the reaction. Yanking the leash hard, shouting, or correcting your dog when they are already afraid only makes things worse. It does not teach them how to be calm. It just gives them one more reason to feel the world is not a safe place. Your dog is not losing control. They are doing the only thing they know to protect themselves in a situation where they feel completely cornered. Understanding that is the very first step toward changing everything. Why does your dog always steal your spot? You get up from the sofa for just 30 seconds. You come back, and your dog is already curled up in the exact spot you were just sitting. Not nearby, not beside it, but right there. Warm, comfortable, and looking as though they have owned that seat since before you were born. You look at them, they look back at you, and you find yourself wondering, is this dog deliberately challenging me? The short answer is no. Reason 1. Warmth. Your body leaves residual heat on the surface of the seat. Your dog's nervous system picks up on that instantly. A warm spot that is already heated up, for a dog, is one of the most comfortable things they can find anywhere in the house. It really is that simple. Reason 2. Your scent. But this is the deeper reason. The spot where you sit most often builds up your scent over time. That sofa cushion you settle into every evening, for your dog, is not just a cushion. It is the place where the scent of the most important person in their life is concentrated most heavily. For dogs, scent is presence. Scent is safety. Scent is you, even when you are not physically there. So when you stand up and walk away, your dog is not sitting in your spot to challenge you. They are moving toward the only form of closeness still available once you are gone. Reason 3. An invitation for interaction. And here is something even more interesting. Some dogs figure out that if they sit in their owner's spot, their owner will come back and interact with them, even if only to reclaim the seat. Even if it is just a look, a laugh, or a few words. They are not necessarily trying to hold on to that spot. They are trying to create a reason for you to pay attention to them. That might sound manipulative, but really it is just a dog communicating in the only way they know. I missed you. I want you here. So the next time you come back and find your dog sprawled out right where you were sitting, do not be so quick to see it as defiance or cheekiness. Try looking at it differently. That is your dog choosing the warmest, most familiar place in the entire house. And that place happens to be exactly where you just were. Why does your dog twitch, run, or whimper in their sleep? You are sitting quietly in the room. Your dog is fast asleep on their bed. Then suddenly, their legs start moving, like they are running. Their whiskers twitch, their eyelids flutter, and a small sound escapes, somewhere between a whimper and a muffled bark. You stare and find yourself wondering, what are they doing? Is something wrong? The answer is almost certainly nothing is wrong at all. Your dog is dreaming. Do dogs actually dream? Yes, and the scientific evidence for this is quite compelling. Just like humans, dogs go through multiple sleep stages, including REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, the stage where the brain is most active and dreams appear most vividly. During this stage, a dog's brain produces signals very similar to those it generates when they are awake and active. The body has a natural mechanism that prevents them from fully acting out their dreams, but sometimes small movements still slip through. Those running legs may simply be a fragment of a dream leaking out into reality. What do dogs dream about? The world inside a dog's dream is probably not abstract the way human dreams can be. It is built from the very things they experienced during the day: scent, movement, sound, emotion. This morning's walk, the ball thrown back and forth, the squirrel at the end of the yard, the person they love most. A dog's dreams are not made of strange, unfamiliar images. They are made of their life, replayed while their body rests. When should you leave them alone? And when should you step in? Most of the time, just let your dog sleep. Waking a dog suddenly while they are in deep sleep can trigger a strong startle response. Some dogs may react on pure instinct before they even realize where they are, and sometimes that can lead to an unintentional bite. If you do need to wake your dog, call their name softly from a distance first. Let them come back to awareness gradually. Do not reach out and touch them before they have had a chance to reorient themselves. The strange movements during sleep are usually nothing to worry about. They are simply the visible edge of a private world your dog enters every night, where the body rests but the mind is still running through the life they share with you. Why does your dog lick other dogs in sensitive places? You are at the park with your dog. Another dog runs over. The two of them greet each other. And then, within just a few seconds, one of them starts licking somewhere you would really rather not see in public. You pull the leash back. You apologize to the other dog's owner. And you find yourself wondering, why does my dog have to do that? The simple answer is, for dogs, this is not rude behavior. This is language. Biological information in a single lick. The sensitive areas on a dog's body carry an extraordinarily rich amount of chemical information. In just one brief interaction, a dog can find out whether the other dog is male or female, what reproductive stage they are currently in, what their overall health is like, what their mood and stress level is right now, even what they have eaten recently. For humans, this is uncomfortable to witness. For dogs, this is a handshake, an introduction, and reading someone's entire profile all at once. Licking is also a social behavior. It is not just about gathering information. Licking is also a core part of social communication between dogs. Dogs lick each other's faces, ears, and necks as a bonding gesture. Within a group of dogs, mutual grooming helps reduce tension, maintain connection, and strengthen relationships. A dog licking another dog is sometimes saying, "I am comfortable with you. I am not a threat." But there is an important boundary. Not every licking behavior is normal and healthy. Normal social interaction looks like this. Brief. Both dogs relaxed, and the dog being licked is free to walk away at any time. But if one dog keeps licking persistently and does not stop even after the other dog has shown signs of discomfort, that is when you need to step in. Watch for these signals in the dog being licked. Body going stiff, head turning away, mouth pressing shut, tail tucking down, or trying to move away but unable to escape. If you notice those signals, gently interrupt the behavior. There is no need to panic, no need to shout. Simply stay calm, create some distance, and give both dogs the space to settle. The right questions to ask are, is the dog being licked relaxed and comfortable? Is the interaction brief and mutual? Can both dogs move freely? If yes, this is simply the language of dogs playing out naturally. If no, step in and give both dogs the space they need. Why does your dog stick their nose in people's private areas? A guest arrives at your home. You open the door, say hello, invite them in. Everything is polite and perfectly normal. And then, your dog walks straight over, completely bypasses every rule of human social etiquette, and pushes their nose directly into the most sensitive area on your guest's body. The guest freezes. You want to disappear into the floor. Your dog has absolutely no sense that they have done anything wrong. And the truth is, from a dog's perspective, they haven't done anything wrong at all. Why do dogs do this? The human body has scent glands that produce chemical information, and certain areas of the body, particularly those that are warm and enclosed, concentrate scent far more heavily than anywhere else. For dogs, the nose is the primary tool for understanding the world. Not the eyes, not the ears, the nose. A person walking into a room carries an entire invisible story on their body. Your dog wants to read that story. Who is this person? Are they stressed? Do they smell unusual? Have they been around other animals recently? Are they in good health? For your dog, this is not an invasion of privacy. This is the most basic information gathering there is. The problem is that two species have completely different rules. Dogs live in a world where scent is the primary language. For them, going directly to the strongest source of scent is completely natural, not unlike humans making direct eye contact when greeting someone. But humans have their own rules about personal space. And your guest, however much they may love dogs, generally does not want to have their biography read quite that way. So we need to respect both. Do not shame the dog for following their instincts, but do teach them a more appropriate way to greet. How to teach your dog to greet politely. When a guest arrives, give your dog a job right from the start. Call them to their spot. Ask for a sit. Scatter a few treats away from the door to redirect their attention elsewhere. Praise and reward them when they greet calmly. A dog that learns a calm greeting routine does not lose their ability to gather information. They simply learn that humans have strange rules about personal space, and that, when you think about it, is really the art of living together between two completely different species. Your dog is not trying to embarrass you. They are simply being themselves. A creature built to read the world through their nose, living in a home built by humans with rules that nobody ever sat down and explained to them. And every single day, they try to understand your world, just as you are trying to understand theirs. And those are the 10 strange dog behaviors that most of us have been misreading all along. But before we finish, let's pause for just a moment, because there is one thing more important than all 10 of those behaviors combined. Your dog's world is not a random world. Every circle before going to the toilet, every unexplained pant, every belly exposed, every time they steal your spot, every nose pushed somewhere it was not invited, all of it is saying something. The problem is not that your dog is strange. The problem is that we have not learned enough of their language yet. The biggest lesson from this video is not the list of 10 behaviors. The biggest lesson is, never take a single behavior and force one fixed meaning onto it. A belly exposed could mean trust, or it could mean appeasement. Panting could mean heat, or it could mean fear. Following you everywhere could mean attachment, or it could mean anxiety. Read the whole dog, the ears, the eyes, the tail, the breathing, whether the body is tense or loose, and the context of everything happening around them in that moment. Because your dog has been communicating with you every single day, not through words, not through explanations, but through signals they are hoping you will learn to recognize. And every time you read one of those signals correctly, the relationship between you and your dog grows a little deeper, a little more trusting, a little more real. That is not just knowledge. That is connection. If this video helped you see your dog in a new way, even just one small moment that made you stop and think, then do one thing before you leave. Hit like to support the channel. Leave a comment telling us which of the 10 behaviors surprised you the most, and subscribe so you never miss what is coming next, because every video on this channel starts with a question that most dog owners have never stopped to ask. The more you understand your dog, the better life gets for both of you, and that is always worth showing up for.